coming back to you, your main man, leader of the barbarian horde. Check out Raw Immersive Games on Facebook. Like the page. Send your main man a friend request. Main man on Facebook. I'll add you. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. You can check out the shop. You can get your Within the Ring of Fire gear and be the most emblazoned fool on your block, sporting hats, shirts, and even a Within the Ring of Fire thong. That's right. You out there, you could have that. No one has bought that yet, but you could. Yes, that was my friend Alex's idea. And a good one. Let's not pass up on that. Expanded Psionics Handbook 3.5 D&D review. Now, I just did a review on the various psionic classes for Dungeons and Dragons and let's talk about what this book has to offer. I think this book comes in at $34.95. It is hardback. It is very beautifully made. I mean, that is a pretty book. Most of the 3.5 books are really nice looking, and a lot of them are hardbound. There are a few, even the uglier ones are pretty good. Some of the 3.0 books, but I mean, that's a beautiful book. I would definitely thumbs up that art design. I think it's interesting, neat looking, and very in line with the style of the core 3 books for 3.5. They expanded this over the 3.0 version of the book, which was also hardback, but this is frankly makes that book obsolete. Take that book and throw it out in the garbage. Go ahead, I'll wait. All right, so now that you're back from the garbage, this book starts off with a bunch of races, and they're all introduced as playable races. I think 1 or 2 of them have ECLs. I know Thrykrins do. Yeah, so some of these are ECL, like the Durgar have a +1 ECL. I think a +1 ECL is doable. Once you get over that, it's rough. It's brutal. I personally prefer to adjust things down, just kind of strip certain abilities off them or take feats away from them, lower hit dice, do a few things out to balance them out. Otherwise, I think level adjustment is not a good system because it breaks immersion. It's like, yeah, you're a drow elf, but drow elves are stupid. they get experience slow. It's fine that you're 100 years old, but it will take a long time to hit 3rd level. It's like, 17-year-old human is 3rd level, I'm still 1st level. Yeah, it's a bit too much. I mean, let's face it, a 110-year-old elf being the same level as a 17-year-old human, first of all, is like, really? I mean, it's just, come on now, dude. But then when you add that, man, it's just too much. It's just too much. The Elan in this book were kind of interesting, and they made them all redheads, which can't argue with that, can you? They're aberrations, people. I actually don't want to. Maybe I do a whole video on them at some point, but this video is going to run really long if I dwell too much. But you have Githyanki. You have, in fact, better stats for playing a Githyanki as a player character in here than are presented, I believe, anywhere else in the 3.5 line, because Githyanki were not OGL, which means you could not make the complete book of Githyanki. Too bad, because I would have. Awesome. But that aside, it does give you a lot of ability to play a Githyanki in here, tailoring them more, using the Sonics more, making them feel, well, more like a Githyanki. And the same thing can be said for Githzerai, but God, who would want to play that? Probably Brady, but that's about it. Because a real man plays a Githyanki. Let that be known right now. And why, I don't know, because Githyanki and Githzerai are both +2 ECLs, but Githyanki completely sucks statistically compared to a Githzerai. I mean, there's night and day difference. God, you can really do some pretty potent things with a Githzerai. I'm not going to front, but screw that. I'm playing a Githyanki. Why? They're awesome. That's why. And awesome always beats everything else. Trust me. And if you don't, I'll make you learn. They have half giants in here, and these are basically the old Athasian half giants to play for Dark Sun. So if you wanted to run a 3.5 Dark Sun game, there are fan-made versions of it out there. There was never an official Dark Sun book put out, anyone, for 3.5. I don't know why. Dark Sun has a pretty big following and could have gained a lot more followers along the 3.5 line. I know they put out some terrible version of it for 4th edition, but that's a different story. If you wanted to do it for 3.5 or for Pathfinder, take your Thrykrins right here. I don't know if Thrykrins are OGL. I want to say they're not. I want to say that you could also not use Thrikrons, but your Gith Yankee, you know what you have in Dark Sun, I guess. I don't know. I saw them in the 4th edition. I don't ever remember them being there before, but whatever. They have something called a Maenad in here, which is very odd. They kind of sparkle like, I guess, vampires out of Twilight. They have like crushed up gemstones in their skin, and they're called Maenads. For those of you that don't know anything about mythology, a Maenad are nymphs that follow Bacchus. So, yeah, or I guess Maenad technically would follow Dionysus. The Bacchae would follow Bacchus. But here they're just men and women, and they have no origin to that at all. And I think we saw one in True Blood Season 2, didn't we? Or was it Season 3? Yeah, I have no idea why they picked the name Maenad, but it had nothing to do with the race at all. So moving on, there's some other ones, a Zeph. I don't know what they do. They're short, so it doesn't matter what kind of. They have something called a blue as well, which isn't in here for some reason, but it's like in the back of the book. And the Pathfinder picked that one up and tried to run with it. Yeah, it's a goblin. I mean, okay, it's blue, so yeah, all right, you got my interest. I'm not gonna front, but it is a goblin, so I'm not playing that. That's all I had to say. I'll play a hobgoblin. I'll play a blue hobgoblin. I don't need Sonics. So, and the Maenad looks like it has some kind of Sonic scream there. I don't know. But everyone's favorite, classic vintage D&D Underdark style, the Intellect Devourer. Oh, has my group had so many jokes about Intellect Devouring and just devouring people's intelligence. So you got the Intellect Devourer in there. That alone is worth $35 in my mind. Like a lot of the books, it does something really bad in here too. This is a huge space ripoff. Like it's like here, and we reprinted the same races that we described earlier as playable races because we know you couldn't possibly turn them into monster entries from a playable race build, which is I mean, it's just like, come on, dude, really. Plus, not only are they here, but they're in the monster manual too. They're in the monster manual. They're in here, and they're in here earlier. That's just space ganking right there. The book itself is only 220. We'll give it 223 pages. So, I guess with this piece of art at the back, 224. But I mean, come on, that's an extra page here. Take a page out for the Githzeuri. Take a page out for the Gith Yankee. Take a page out for the Maenad. I mean, we're taking pages out left and right. They do a beautiful artwork in the book though. So like, look at that. Look at that. They have like a lot of Mind Flayer templates and things like that you can add to monsters, which are really cool. I'm not going to go through all of them. They also have some of the really, really, really stupid monsters in here. As I said, the Elan, you can see the red hair, and that's a dude though, so that's not awesome. Not awesome at all. Let's see. Yeah, then you have the Krismal. So I mean, just monsters like that. You're like, dude, really? That's the best you can come up with? I can make something up better than that in like a second. It would literally take me 1 second to make a better monster than that. 1 second. 1 second. So you can imagine what I think of that monster. Now, there are some interesting other. Oh, there you go. There's the blue. Look at that guy. He's like, I'm a goblin. Oh. I saw someone trying to play one of these. It's just like, oh god. I guess there's some kind of power gaming abuse ability on them. Something called the Caller in Darkness. So that's a very Lovecraftian sounding name. We have a ton of classes in here, which I reviewed really more in any other review. Different kinds of Sonic classes you can play. You can make a whole party of different kinds of Sonics. You have kind of your Sonic Rogue and your Sonic Sorcerer and your Sonicist and your Sonic Warrior. And you can use these different classes. You very easily play an all Sonics campaign. You can play a game, which is very sci-fi and use these rules as opposed to your traditional Dungeons & Dragons type game. They would lend themselves well to that. Sonics and lightsabers or laser guns or whatever. They have a full complement of Sonics in here that, yes, they're often very similar to Magic. They're done differently enough, but not differently enough at the same time. They needed to make them less wizardy, not worry about, let's make them balanced to be wizards. No. Just do their thing and see how it rolls. So that's important. This book, a tremendous jump up over the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Sonics, complete Sonics book, which is a complete piece of garbage. Their Sonic system, I don't know if it was made by mental patients. I'm not sure who designed it, but they did a horrible job. That book was convoluted, confusing, and it made people hate Sonics. This system of Sonics is much better than AD&D system of magic for clerics or for sorcerers or for wizards. This is some good stuff. It works well. I like it. These kind of rules they use here, I used a lot of them and similar to them years. And I used a lot of these in AD&D, this style of rules, because they work better. It has the feats in here. It has the prestige classes, and let me see if I can have a bit of a look here and find the prestige classes for you. Because I think the prestige classes they made in here were pretty neat. So let me talk about them. I need to do a video on prestige classes at some point. I don't think I've ever actually done one of those. But you have your Cerebromancer, which is +1 existing level of arcane spells. Arcane spells. It's been a long day, Horde. And we have a +1 level of a Manifestor class, which is Esther Sonics. So you can basically build like a 3rd level wizard / 3rd level sonicist and then merge them and then be able to do both of those like a Mystic Theurge, but for Psionics, which is cool. Classes like that really help you to be able to play that concept better. You have some here. You have the Fist of Zukin. So that's like your monk / Sonic warrior probably. Then you have your Illicit Slayer, which I mean that is some tight artwork. You know I love my Giddy Yankees. So she's out there. She's like, I'm gonna give you a beating. And she cut that Illicit's head off. She's like, I don't care that you have green blood. I'm still going to hold your head. And I'm going to carry a chakram. That's right. So, the Illicit Slayer, it's a very cool class. It's sort of your really pumped warrior for the Sonic Warriors. You have the, let's see here. Let me find this. Here you go. Get your Thriker in there. That's sort of your, I think, Mind Blade, your Pyrokinesis. So basically, overall, the book, the Warmind. Warmind. There's another fighter type of prestige class. So it's interesting. It gives you the ability to add a little bit of Sonics to a character with wild talents in this book. It gives you the ability to play a full-on Sonic character and ability to merge Sonic characters well with other classes. You know, to build them up as fighter Sonicist or as wizard or as cleric Sonicist. To make overall your use of Sonicist much easier in the game. So it has a lot of rules like that. It has a mediocre. The monsters are mediocre. Most of these books, the monsters are horrible, so mediocre is not that bad. Some of them are pretty cool. Some of them are and they repeated way too much stuff in here, which is unfortunate. You know, but here's another one, like the Puppeteer. Right off the bat, like I'm like, okay, that's kind of a cool idea. But then you have a gym monster over here. I'm the Scion Killer. I don't know. I guess this is his rap name or something. Scion Killer, sucker. So overall, I really like this book. I think it's very well done. The art in here is great. Most of the 3.5 art is great. There's some drop-offs here and there, but it's an excellent book. If you want to get 3.5 Sonics, if you want to give Sonics a chance, if you were horribly marred and scarred by Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, the system is easy, accessible, it runs better than Wizards or Priest for spellcasting classes, and overall it gives you the ability to interject a different sort of flavor and funk into the game, make it feel a little bit different. Let your main man know below what you think about Sonicist, what you think about this book, and keep that conversation flowing.